Rhapsody versus Jonas Fatson.
I already did that. I could just ban him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it seems like we are all good. All right, you ready to go, bud?
One quick second. So I was just muting them
Yeah, sounds about right.
because I was like, well, how are they going to know when we start?
Mm-hmm. I think they'll know on the screen.
Yeah, as long as they're watching, right? We should be good. Okay. I did not change anything. I'm going to lose so fast.
I don't think so. I'm running a very risky build. I'll say that. It's a risky build.
Ooh, I like your banner.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. I built it not out of like a design aesthetic. It was exclusively, I put all the things on it that were the hardest things to get in the base game. Like, get all the ancestors trinkets. That's the ancestors code, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. I like that they did that with like the single player to pull that in as well. It's very, very cool that they did.
Kind of them to integrate in that way.
Crusader. Ooh. I haven't fought the shield breaker in PvP yet.
Yeah, the shield breaker. It might just be that I'm taking the shield breaker because, as Affa mentioned, I love the shield breaker. Shield breaker is my favorite character. So yeah, this might not be technically the best choice, but I want it. You know.
I like that you start your jester in the first position there too. That's a big first turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we do with this. We'll see. Right. Can't do that from that line. Wait, can't do that from that line. That makes sense.
And I pretty much, for me, I always run a Hellion just because like she's my favorite class.
That's what I was thinking actually. I was speculating that as the as you were doing your fights, that you had taken it specifically because it's your favorite class rather than it being like the biggest balance consideration. Because I know that's what I did with the shield breaker.
Yeah, like Wander and I quickly talked. We were like, well, do you do a do you do like the meta game, or do you do like your favorite class? It's the Pokemon argument, you know? Like, do you do the best party, or do you do like the most fun party? And I'm always like much more on I like the fun side of things rather than the not fun things, I guess.
Yeah, I tend to agree as well.
Oh, that's a big miss.
Oh no! Uh-oh. Yeah, you're right. That's a very big miss right there.
The reveling throng demands its portion.
My build
I got a lucky stun.
I don't know if that was a lucky stun. I think my resist is 5%, so it was a 95% base chance to hit that stun. As long as you got past my dodge, which you did.
Ooh, that made up.
Ooh, that hurts. That hurts all my bits.
Did you do trinket scoping here? Did you do that? Is that something you do?
I pop trinkets on my own. I haven't scoped out your trinkets though.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like especially because like this isn't like, you know, ultra serious like hard try hard kind of mode. I definitely just prioritize taking the things that I like the most rather than the things that might strictly be the best.
I agree with that. That's kind of how I like play games in general, though, because like at the end of the day, we're playing games to have fun, not to, you know, and for any other reason other than that. That miss hurts me more.
Yeah.
I did a bad first turn there. I should have.
That exsanguinate was really, really rough. I honestly think that was the right move to do, but you might have wanted to target on someone with less dodge than the Jester.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I can just hear Rito now just telling both of them about how I did that to him in the episode, and then he wrecked me afterwards. So you like, you'll be in good company when you inevitably end up killing mine.
I find it funny that Orbital thought that I was somehow good at this game. That's all.
I mean, I guess we are in the kind of like assumption of a person in the Wholesomeverse has a soft focus on a game. or even just a soft interest in the game, and then we assume that they're, you know, pretty good at it. I also don't know if that's necessarily wrong, though.
No,
It's just
okay. I think I'm okay at the game. There's a lot of there's a lot of that with it, and I don't know. I'm not necessarily ever amazing at any video game for that matter, so I can't really say anything else wise. Really. I'm in it rough on this one though.
Were you more of a power gamer before you had like a kid?
Define power gamer.
Like, was your playstyle more adapted towards, you know, like focusing on a game and becoming good at it rather than not necessarily always having the time to focus that heavily on something?
Yeah, the only really game I ever did that with was Final Fantasy 11. Really, like the power gaming, because I'd had the time. I was in my like early 20s, not really a ton of responsibilities. Now it's much more of the time investment for the fun, I guess. Like if I can put in like 2 hours into a game and have like a good time doing it, then that's more important than, okay, well, this game opens up 40 hours in and now you can have fun. Like Dungreed as an example, where you're like, why is this not the first thing you do? So yeah, I don't know, that's kind of my style, I guess. And I really like the design side of it myself, so I'm always kind of looking at like, well, why did they choose this? Why did they do that?
Right.
I work in IT like day to day, so there's a lot of that where I'm like, oh, like game development and regular project management are pretty similar, and I always kind of think of that stuff.
Yeah, you're also a amateur game dev, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, I'm hoping. I haven't really shared much. I'm still working on it. I'm hoping that next year I'll be able to get a game out, but it's a roguelite tower defense would be the way I'd word it, with procedural path generation and wave patterns and so forth. I'm hoping it works out. I'm not an artist though, like I'm a programmer more, so it's not going to look pretty until I find someone. So
yeah, I'm very familiar with the concept of programmer art. I am a software engineering major student myself.
Yeah, so you don't draw. No, I'm just joking.
Well, I mean, I don't.
Lucky.
I can't create art. I can manipulate art relatively well. Like my thumbnails are examples of me like taking a bunch of different assets and being able to generate a graphic to, I think at least, a decent extent. But if you ask me to draw something, like, you're getting a stick figure. I'm sorry. That's how it's going.
You asked for a figure and I gave you a figure. I get that. I work with like a lot of developers and engineers, and they're very similar. They're like, well, what you asked for is a drawing of a face, and I gave you a face.
Yeah, exactly. You would have put this in the spec requirements if you actually really wanted something different. You would have put it in the specs.
Faint hope blossoms.
Oh, I feel like I misplayed my vessel on this one. That's okay.
Did you want to pop people off death's door?
I should have, although you can bypass it. So
yeah. I can only bypass it with the Jester, and the Jester can only use Finale once per battle.
Oh, it was only one per battle. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even notice that. Same with Battle Ballad.
Come on. Up here.
You're also getting a lot of crits.
To be fair, I have also chosen champions that are specifically high crit champions, as well as put crit trinkets on them, and they have abilities that buff their crit chance.
Fair enough.
That's very much part and parcel of what I was trying to do. Like, the whole build for me is I try and blow you up on turn 1, and if that doesn't work, I die, because I'm like almost no heals in the party. If you stress me out at all, I die. Like, it's so weak, but the whole thing is just like trying to blitzkrieg my opponents.
No, I think it's a good build. Like, it's working.
There we go. Bit late in the battle to do a buff, but I think it's the time.
I was gonna say that, but that's okay.
There you go.
That's actually pretty good, because like for me to target the back row is harder right
Mhm.
now.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I was
sure it's
hoping to break-
impossible.
I have Iron Swan on the Hellion.
Yeah, but you can't
That
use
can do
Iron
it.
Swan against a self-target.
Of emptiness reveal themselves.
It's not an area of effect ability, so it wouldn't do it.
That's a good point.
Um.
That's okay. I'm still gonna win. Just watch.
Oh yeah, no, I believe it. The battle's not over till it's over. I've had Rito 2 champions down, and then he's like, okay, and then I kill your team.
Perched at the very
I do have to say, like not the animations, but the caricatures of the dead heroes is phenomenal.
It's
they did a great
phenomenal,
job.
but it's so sad.
Oh, it's absolutely horrific. I agree.
It hurts my heart. Specifically to see like the Houndmaster. Thank heck they didn't kill the dog, but it has the thing that always makes me tear up on the internet, which is a dog. But it also has another element that's like an additional difficulty to that, which is it's a dog that is mourning the loss of an owner. Like, oh.
Yeah, it's Fry's dog in Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah, exactly. It's Seymour.
Seymour. I like the Crusader. I think is probably my favorite with the sword through his skull. It's just so gruesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
very fitting. All right, 1v4 with the Hellion. Let's go.
I
Nope.
don't think it's gonna be a
Nope.
1v4. Ah,
Press
never mind, it is.
disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
I had a feeling. But
The,
I do have first move, so
The Dirk stab does have plus 10% to death blow dealt chance.
Victory is at hand.
I just wanted one kill.
It's okay. You might still get it. I mean, I still have to get you down to death's door.
I do have a death blow resist with last hero, so
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then it just goes back to me. Yeah, this is where it's going to become a little wonky because I just get to take turns on turns on turns.
Wander and I were talking about that. I couldn't remember if it worked like that, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't that it worked out that way. Look, I got one win. Okay, I'm happy at the end of this.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I'm actually kind of a little surprised to have won with this. It very much, like, honestly, if your Flagellant did not miss on that attack, this whole battle would have been so different, like night and day different.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was like the defining moment of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And like you had some very timely crits because you spec for it. Like I got to give you credit for that. So
I did the Darkest Dungeon, the Crimson Court, as well as doing it on the hardest mode. So Stygian, I think at the time was the hardest mode, or it might have been Blood Moon. I can't remember the name. They changed the name a couple times. It was New Game, Blood Moon, and Stygian. But in the last time that I did that, I did it with a heavy crit build rather than actually going for, you know, kind of more reasonable builds.
I really like the crit build. Like if I play an MMO, I kind of like running a crit, or even like a Diablo or what have you. Like I kind of run those anyway, so I can respect it.
Mm-hmm. What character class do you play in those kinds of things typically? Like you were mage, ranger, tank and spank warrior
Always-
kind of sitch?
Always a mage,
Mhm.
always 100%.
Just like having all the options?
Yeah, like in D3 when it came out, I played a wizard. It'd be funny to get like 2 kills before the end of this. Yeah, and like Final Fantasy like 14 and 11, I always played a summoner.
Oh, what?
More destructive than 100.
The comeback. Here it comes.
Mio,
Oh.
why?
I love it. Oh, let's go.
This is no place.
I got such a lucky death blow.
Fight on. The
Well, not really. Wicked Hack has the. Oh.
Yeah, it has the increased chance. All right, well, I think it's about time for us to then unmute the other two. Let's go do that.
As victories
All right,
won,
all right.
so too will resistance.
Good match, by the way. Good match.
Thank you. Good match to you as well.
Company of blood
Unmute.
delight.
Sword, unmute.
Praise well earned.
Congrats, Jonas, on the win, by the way.
Well done, Jonas.
That was impressive.
Oh, we did so well. So we were talking about it really quick. I had the flagellant have like the worst miss I possibly could have had.
You had the same exact flagellant miss I had.
Yeah,
It-
losing that is just brutal.
It changes everything. It changed everything. But
That's
was-
what Rap said. You said you were immediately going to mention that the same thing happened to you.
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. It was the exact same thing.
Oh,
But congratulations, Rhapsody. We
Thank
know
you.
that Rhapsody won. So now it is Rhapsody versus Orbital in the finals, right?
So it is.